The Impossible Dream. The Man from La Mancha. What a gorgeous, gorgeous job the choir did with both songs. Gorgeous. So, Don Quixote, the Man from La Mancha, was known as impractical and an idealist. And as you listen to the song, you could hear that. He's going to get through whatever he needs to get through to make it happen. And there is an amazing power in deliberate intention. And the saying goes that if the intention is clear, everything falls in place just as it should, allowing things to unfold right in front of us. And we heard from Jesse last Sunday how he had to focus to get a deliberate intention going, right, Jesse? To get past his ego, he said that, I didn't, and sit down at the piano and learn what he said he wanted to do for us, and he did it. The power of clear intention was demonstrated beautifully by Jesse last Sunday. I'm ready for the slide. Have you ever had one of those clothes hangers in your home? How's the power of intention going with this one? I bet when that treadmill was purchased, probably so they'd be ready on January 1st, the new beginning, that they thought they were going to be on that treadmill every day. So the intention wasn't completely clear. However, we know that the road is paved. The road to heaven is paved with good intentions, and I've been on that road many times, many times. The good news is that this person, whoever purchased this, can now change their minds and stop using it for their laundry and begin again. That's the good news. The challenge is that our intentions need clarity. We start with a desire, then we go to believing in ourselves. Do I really want this outcome? Then comes the intention. And when that is clear, the mechanisms will fall in line for it. God's will is carried out. In Job 22:28, we hear, "You will decide on a matter, and it will establish for you. The light will shine on your ways." And if you've ever read Job, Job really had a difficult time, if you've ever read him in the Bible. So he is saying, if your intention's clear, then the light of the Holy Spirit will show you the way to fulfill whatever it is that you desire for good. To me, there are a couple different types of decisions that we make. Some are life-changing decisions. Some are the everyday decisions that happen as we go about our lives. And some are intentional decisions that we make as we start our day. But no matter how big or how small the intention is, it's going to go one way or another depending on our desire. Last month's talks were on wisdom and discernment. And they help us with situations in our lives, as was demonstrated for 5 weeks. Actually, we had 5 Sundays last month. And this month's tool is on will or willingness. And that goes hand in hand, obviously, with wisdom and discernment. So let's unpack this. Somebody said to me this morning, "Let's see what you and God have cooked up for us today." Well, God will work through me. I can't guarantee anything here. Our thoughts and emotions create our intentions moment by moment. And that is something that Unity has said forever, that any thoughts that you hold in your mind are going to become your reality. So this happens all the time, and we don't even realize it. It just happens like this, like this, like this, unless we become aware. So I can choose to awaken to the amazing power of divine possibilities within me and all around me if I want to. If I want to love myself enough and know that I deserve it, or I can complain Nothing goes right. Somebody didn't say the right thing to me at the right time. I didn't know any better. It's not my fault. You know, we all do that at times. We can get downtrodden. We can see everything as mundane and the same old, same old. We get the choice to respond the way we want to. And sometimes when we're not able to release those feelings of negativity, the ego gets its way. And in the long run, it's not very life-giving for ourselves or for those that are around us. We are called to wonderful possibilities right in front of us. So why not engage your will and set an intention for the day that works for you every morning? So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I say, okay, Eileen, and I actually say that, Eileen, what do you want to create for yourself today? Because you can create anything you want. Well, how do you choose? I actually say this to myself. How do you choose to awaken to your divine nature, to the truth of who you really are, your identity as a spiritual being? What quality do you want to embody today as you go forth in your day? Is it abundance? Is it joy? Is it peace? Perfect health? Understanding? Whatever it is. And I have to be aware because the never-ending good old ego comes right in there immediately and says, wait a minute, you're doing a talk on Sunday. What are you doing thinking about peace and joy and love? You're supposed to be anxious and worried. And then I say to the ego, go get a room by yourself. I don't need you in my life. We at Unity believe that it is our birthright and the will of God within us to bring forth every good that is in our lives. Wow. We simply have to allow ourselves to embrace the qualities that were demonstrated by our way shower, Jesus. He certainly gave us enough. Jesus recognized his will was the will of the Father, and in that was this love and that recognition that we are all one. And that's what he taught us. We are one with the Father, not separate. So we can embrace the day with our will, with the love of God in there that's only choosing good for us. And it's ours for the taking, free will. We get to choose and then choose again and choose again. And then allow everything to unfold as we get into being that very thing. Jesus actually vibrated, I believe, love, peace, joy, non-judgment. And it was seen over and over again by his followers. We are also with him with that. We are able to do all of that. He had his insides and his outsides matching. In other words, who he said he was, that's who he was. And that's what he calls us to do. He calls us to be who we say we are and to practice that. And pretending to be someone else, people get it. And we are in pain because we're not being true to who we are. It really becomes our purpose to have our insides and outsides match, and clear intentions bring that forth. So peace, joy, health, non-judgment, allowing that to unfold in our eyes and in our day, just every moment. We get to practice in our own time, in our own space. We are not mistakes. Remember back, I think it was in the 60s, when it was God does not make junk. That saying was around. A lot of you don't know that saying. But for those of you that do, remember that? Yeah, okay. We are not mistakes. We were created and given example after example by Jesus on how we are not mistakes and how no matter who we are or what we've done, there is forgiveness as long as we can forgive ourselves. It's only within ourselves that we need to do that. Because we are the very essence of love. And in that awareness of who we are, we actually allow the unfoldment of that love, and we awaken to our desire. What is your desire? And do you believe in that? Do you believe that wholeheartedly what you want? There's power in that. Then comes the power of intention. Yes, I believe it. And yes, I'm going to set my intention for this. And I'm going to put it into action by recognizing God's presence in every situation that I find myself in and that we all find ourselves in. So I have a question for you. Do you want abundance, peace, joy, and health in your life? Yes. Okay. Do you want abundance, peace, joy, and health in your life? Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. If that's what you desire for yourself, then you just have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you deserve it. And then simply set a clear intention. Now, guess what helps us? It's what Unity was founded on. Affirmative prayer and meditation. And they are here for the taking. And we know that this daily practice in our lives allows the Holy Spirit to unfold and be a part of us. And it helps to raise our consciousness. Now, the consciousness is out there. It's raised as high as it'll ever be. We have to catch up. And that becomes our journey to do that. Eckhart Tolle says, a new consciousness is emerging on this planet. More and more people are waking up and are embracing the actual awakening process instead of dreading it. They're actually welcoming that. That is very exciting to me because that's exactly what Unity is about. It's about using affirmative prayer in the most beautiful way and meditation that helps us awaken our consciousness. As I said before, when I wake up, I know what I'm setting my day for, but I don't always do it all day long. And when that happens, I know that either my intention wasn't clear, or I'm not using that intention the way I should in the present moment. I use prayer and meditation to help me get into that silence and allow Holy Spirit. So that when I do fall short, I can always go back. Free will, free will. Did you ever think about it? And the second word's will. Interesting. But anyway, we can go back and clarify. I can clarify. You know what, Eileen? You did not have a clear intention. You are not acting very joyful right now. But I get to choose again and get back to that intention. And the more I do that, I'm able to manifest what it is I say I want. And that really means I'm keeping my word to myself. So important, because how many of us, you don't raise your hands, but how many of us keep our words to others but not to ourselves? Don't raise your hands. Oh, you're just scratching your neck. Okay. And you know what? Our fourth principle says, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And when I do that, I am in enjoyment. I am able to enjoy no matter what it is because I'm bringing through me God, that clear intention. You see, prayer is creative thinking. That heightens our connection with God, mind, and therefore brings forth desire, belief, intention, and then carrying it out. Okay? Now, how many times have I said that? I know a lot. Interesting. Years ago, I read a book about a humble monk named Brother Lawrence. He has many books out now, and he was kind of known as clumsy, in the monastery there. He wrote a book called Practice the Presence. He had the job in the monastery of kitchen duty. Who likes kitchen duty? And don't raise your hands there at all, or you'll have a job at my house. Okay, you raised your hand? Good. So what happened was he took something very mundane and horrible for him, and he said, I'm going to be in the present moment and offer this up to who I can be, the difference that I make for myself and the difference that I make for all those in the monastery. We make a difference in the world by our intentions to be present to ourselves and others, no matter how great our job is or no matter how little our job is. There is no such thing, really. And you know what? The more you get into it, the more fun life is. The more you become aware and see the potential of all the wonderful possibilities. Don Quixote. He's dreaming what everybody thought was the impossible dream, but no way. I'm going to make that happen. Moment by moment. We get to shape our own reality. How cool is that? You wake up, you see your potential, and you put aside feelings of lack, feelings of unfair judgment, feelings of unforgiveness. You don't even choose those thoughts anymore. You get to set yourself free. We get a clear intention to awaken to the higher self and to free our ego mind from negative thinking. The more you do it, the easier it becomes to tell your ego to go get a room. You must do that to be free, to free ourselves from what comes from anxiety and fear. And when we do that, we become extraordinary. Our book study just finished A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle on Wednesday, and we read a quote by a Parisian poet, a Sufi master, and everybody in the group, and there were 20 of them, so I have to do this. You have to share that this Sunday, and it is gorgeous. Listen to this. I am a hole in a flute that the Christ's breath moves through. Listen to the music. Christ's breath is consciousness, so listen. I am a hole in a flute that is the conscious breath moving through me. Listen to the music. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty powerful. So, is there abundance that you want in your life? You have to relax and free your mind. There is abundance all around you in every way that you can think of. And most of the time, people think of abundance in the form of financial stability, and they don't realize that if they believed they had financial stability, they'd have it. But they have to make a clear intention and live it. They have to believe it without a shadow of a doubt. And one of the ways that that happens is, I believe I'm going to have enough no matter what. And that allows us to give to others from that abundance because we believe that we will always have enough. It's just the way it goes. Our intentions need to be clear. Then and only then can we listen to the music from the flute that we have created. See, the potential is already in us. It's not out there somewhere. Oh, I'm waiting to get my potential. I'm waiting to find my potential. Oh, no, no, no. It's in here. Our potential's in here. And when you see and you feel it and you know that you are whole and that you are abundant and that you can choose to be joy-filled, you can choose to be anything good. You can choose others, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about goodness here. We're able to let go of negative patterns that have been in this brain since we were young. And then we're fulfilled. But you have to believe you deserve it. I mean, believe it without a shadow of a doubt, because the potential is already there. What we do is we get caught up in guilt and we get caught up in shame. And then we don't forgive ourselves for being human. We just don't forgive ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. We can change the intention anytime we want to for only good. That's the everyday thing that happens, right? Day after day. And then bigger things happen. 15 years ago, I can't believe it already, 15 years ago, Gary, my husband, and I came to Naples to visit. We love Naples. Then we had belonged to Unity Church in New Jersey. Then we said, we're going to the Unity Church in Naples. Oh, dear God, that was the end of it. We wanted to move here. We were so in love with this community 15 years ago that we both got together and said at once, we don't want to go home. We want to stay here. How are we going to do this? So what we did is we had an immediate desire. There it is. We believed we deserved it in spite of the fact that we had to go home and tell family. Whew, that was tough. And then we set a clear intention to make it happen. We got into prayer and meditation, and it came quick. It came quick for us because the intention was clear. Before we knew it, we were putting a deposit down on a condo that was going to be ready for us in 5 months, and we had to go home, sell a house and a business. And it was when so many houses were on the market that people were, oh, no way. So, okay, we're doing it ourselves then. We're just going to do it ourselves. In 1 month, we sold it. And the interesting thing is up north, people don't usually want your furniture, and you have to haul it all down here or sell it. The woman says, can I have your furniture too? And I go, sure, for some extra money, you may have that. So that's how it all worked out. Why? Beyond a shadow of a doubt, we wanted to be in Naples, Florida at this Unity community. And that has never wavered for us. It's wonderful. So just in case you want to get started with an intention, we have prayer chaplains in either corner that would be happy to work with you on affirmative prayer. They're in corners because we want your privacy, not because you've done something wrong. Okay. So what's the takeaway for today? The takeaway for today is not a handout I'm saving on paper and printer. So you're going to have to go online to unityofnaples.org, to the home page under Talk section. Is that right, Jesse? And that's labeled Talk Session. And then go to Practical Tools for Spiritual Living. And here's what you'll find. The amazing power of deliberate intention. The art of allowing God. 1, desire what it is that you want to create for yourself. 2, allow yourself to feel God's presence within you. 3, believe that you deserve it. It's your birthright. 4, set your intention. Make it clear. Be sure it's clear. See yourself in the action of that intention. Already see it happening. Affirmative prayer and meditation will connect you with a higher consciousness of God mind. And 5, of course, you have to take action. Make that possibility come to fruition, allowing God's will to bring it forth. And now I'm going to ask you to come into meditation. So while Amy and Jesse get ready, let's move around in our chair just a little bit. Sit with your spine straight, but allow your shoulders to drop. And take a deep, cleansing breath in through your nostrils and out through your mouth very slowly. And take another one. Let's allow any discomfort that we might feel to dissolve in the smooth embrace of divine light. Free your mind and tap into a desire for the day. Be it peace, joy, abundance, or whatever speaks to your heart. Envision that reality already happening. And release any burden of carrying negative emotions. Release. You are a powerful creator. And as you move through your day, remember that thoughts and emotions shape your reality. Picture your intention for the day that's already happening. Take a moment to do that in the silence right now, just for a moment. And as we see that happening for us, we begin to come out of this meditation by taking a nice deep breath in through our nose. Draw it all the way up to the top of your head. Let it out very slowly, knowing that your intention is happening for you. You have changed your vibration and the vibration of this community through your intention. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and come into this new reality.